Welcome to Monza, a track where if it's going to go wrong, it goes wrong in a big style. Now, you might think that we have the turn 1 bus stop. We do not have said turn 1 bus stop. So, how on earth do you crash in turn 1? Well, it's a series of events that are fully avoidable if people work out what the brake pedal does. See the wolf pack up in front? They have a moment. Assessing that, I start braking. The Mercedes behind goes into the back of us, loses control, and then rides over the front of us, pulls us off the track into the wall, and then the rest is, as you can see, pure destruction. And the expression on my face is well over the moon about the situation. An hour later, because the car was fully destroyed, I decided, you know what, let's go back here again and do it all again, but start from the pits. That's safer. I don't want to destroy too much of the safety rating. I'm in Silver 2 and thinking, do you know what, Flash, that is a great idea. Use this race to build that back up, regain what you have lost, and, well, it doesn't seem to work out that way. Although the McLaren is prematurely in turn 1 had a moment, we have survived turn 1, 2, 3. All is well, you might think. Yellow flag up ahead, that has now gone, which is good, you would think. But wait, there's more. Yellow flag is back up. Turn this corner. There's a Mustang who decides to back up in front of us. Ah, but we survived, you might think. Oh, that one really annoyed me. Third time's a charm, I guess. Starting from the pits and the third race 3 hours later. Dear me, that last one, that person, there must have been like a deer in headlights because there was no steering, no optional change that he could have done to avoid that, and just literally slow-moed into us. Just took the wheel off the car. Oh dear, that one really got me. And yep, I had to walk away from that, but we're in race 3. Yellow flag up ahead. You can see I had let off the throttle. I'm not in a rush. There's plenty of time. It's a 30-minute race, and I just want to survive a race. Talking about surviving a race, now work this one out. The first crash took my trusted driver badge away and put me back to good driver. The second race, where I was stationary, I got driven into, removed the good driver badge and put me back to trusted. Yep, I don't know how that works out, and that McLaren has had a rough day. Talk about McLarens ourselves in a lovely green McLaren, the flash green on the go. What a beautiful livery. Does seem to be a car of choice for this race, and as well as I've not used a mid-engine car at Monza, so I thought, you know what, give it a go. We've used the Mustang, we've used the Mercedes, and we've used the Lexus. Lexus is very good at this track. Time to use a mid-engine car and see what happens. I was kind of tempted to use the Corvette because it sounds incredible, but I've already done that for an hour at Le Mans. But there we go. Look at the joy on my face there, surviving lap 1. We survived it. Absolutely insane. And we're in position 25. I think there's like 35 of us in this race. Although I don't think there's 35 of us left in this race, to be quite honest with you. But position 25 nonetheless. I think that position 24 because the guy's just gone into the pits. If you do wonder why there's a lot of people missing from the race, wait to the end and watch crash cam. It is absolutely insane. I've never seen such crashes at a track. And it kind of explains why that person to the left-hand side has decided to go gravel castle building. But ourselves in position 20, lap 3 nonetheless. We gained so much by just taking our time. That's the best way of putting it. Just literally chilling out at this track, and we're already 4 attempts up. But we got a little bit of a bottleneck. Now we have a trusted driver. I think a driver in front of that may have just come from a ban. I think that's what the red one was. Not 100% sure, but they're right up behind another car. Mustang, just doing Mustang things, just sitting in the middle of the track thinking that is a totally normal behavior and racing line, or well, a position to be in at a track doing 14 miles per hour. Each to their own, of course. I mean, I'm not here to judge, but I honestly think that is a little bit sketchy. Talk about sketchy though, is going over that curb and left the side. The McLaren does it very, very well. Although if you ask a little bit too much from it, you will keep turning left into the wall. So that is something to bear in mind. Now, You see, we let off from the pack of cars in front, kind of sitting back and watching things develop and unfold. No rush. Where's he going? Left or right? Yeah, we go. Problem solved. They have gone to the right. We have gone to the left. We're still in one piece and no damage on the car. And see the expression on my face. Thank you to the LMU gods for surviving that final corner. I could have gone one or two ways, I guess. It's the final corner, and it's the second, probably corner 6 that gets a lot of people. And talking about getting a lot of people, we're right up behind the Porsche up in front. Now, we did let off. I'm not in a position to overtake here. It is very, very sketchy going too wide down that section there. And if there was to be body contact, usually both of you end up in the wall or the pit, and that's less than ideal. Sometimes it's better to back off and try it again in a different corner, a different part of the track. You know, you got to plan the survival aspect of things. Ooh. Oh, by the way, the sign. Yep, that sign. I get marked down on my safety rating for driving through that sign. So the option is to hit the Porsche or hit the sign. And I got marked down either way. And I don't really think that's fair. I didn't put the sign there and I had to get out of the way. Avoiding that sign might have caused another accident. I don't know, but each to their own. Where do you go in, Porsche? I think this is where indicators are kind of needed. Just so I'm staying to the right, please, bruv. You go to the left. But, yeah. You know, that was a bit of a thing at the end. I saw you hit the sign. Seriously? Come on. Of all the things I could have hit, the sign is the one you're complaining about. Now, again, talking about overtaking this Porsche, you got to plan the overtake. Make the position, make the move in a safe and doable area. Again, going around turn 1 is not the play to make sometimes, and getting a pretty poor exit out of the final corner along the straight is less than ideal. We do have the slipstream to our advantage, so we actually might bend around this corner, be right up behind them, and then be able to dive bomb it into turn 2 and into 3. That is the plan, and whether that is executable, we're going to find out as we're really railing in this Porsche. They have gone for the defensive line. We took ourselves up. Steady, steady. I am beside you. Come on. And you see how the defensive line has really slowed them down. Should I have committed there? Not too sure. Let me know what you guys think. But we have just been overtaken by a car that we lapped earlier this week. Do you know what? If you want to overtake, you put the pressure on. You go for it, bud. Because if you both crash, I can sit back and watch it all unfold. Yellow flag up ahead as the Mustang is still in the wall. Funny thing to do with that Mustang, watch crash cam at the end. That is all I can say, because that person, I don't know how on earth they have a silver license. It was a joke. But talking about jokes is what's going on here. Porsche gave zero room to the yellow Porsche. Yellow Porsche went off track and held it, so credit where credit is due. Very sketchy place to overtake there, but it is doable providing you both give each other a little bit of space. I have a Porsche to our rear looking to make a move. The Porsche up in front is taking the defensive line. Do you know what? I'm going to hang it around the outside. Get this move done. No, it didn't play off. Couldn't get on that throttle, came in a little bit too warm, and ultimately bottled it. But we're going to have a great bit of slipstream here. Look at that, side by side with the orange Porsche, using the yellow Porsche up in front as a bit of a slipstream magnet, sucking us in. Move has been done, and make sure that we keep this run going. So when we get down to turn 2, they have no opportunity to be able to do a dive bomb back at us. And now they're 0.3 seconds away. That opportunity has been taken away. Braking late. Down to turn 2, over the curb on the left, onto the curb on the right, accelerating out the corner. Could have been a little bit quicker, but ultimately we're now 0.6 seconds away from that car behind and actually catching up to the Porsche up in front. Now, the great thing about having that Porsche up in front is they're not beating us per se. Yes, they are in front. They are a little bit quicker and are providing us the slipstream and the magnet pull to make sure that we can claim a little bit of time back. Look at that. Taking a sip of the drink from the Flash Motorsport mug. Beautifully done. Perfect place for it. Great choice. But yeah, going back to using them as our slipstream magnet, we actually got a lot of time away from the orange Porsche behind. Oh, he's had a moment. He's done it. Oh, yeah, look at that. So they go off track and we lose a position to the blue Porsche. Seriously, there's so many Porsches at this track. There are other cars to choose from, guys. There's a Porsche in front, Porsche to the rear. It's not the only car in this game. The Lexus is a good choice as well. And so is the Mustang, actually, at this track. Mustang is very, very good at this track. Sketchy, but good. Oh, dear. So I'm surrounded by Porsches. Seriously, it's not the place you want to be, guys. It really isn't. They are sketchy little cars, though. I'm not going to lie. But when they're working, they work well. And you see the cornering ability of that blue one up in front. It just turned like it was not even a track, you know. He was on rails. And, yeah, I can't compete with that. But what you gain in strength from cornering, you lose in stability. And that car is a little bit twitchy, I must say. Now, another wolf pack of cars. Up in front, we have a Ferrari, the Porsche, and a BMW. No, that's a Mustang. I'm looking at the top left-hand leaderboard, and I think that's the lapped Mustang that we saw earlier, just playing shenanigans at this track, because the lapped, I don't understand what's going on. You see the blue flag waving. You know, the Ferrari behind is catching up, and they were just a menace. Let's put it that way. I just don't get it. But, you know, each to their own. And without a live steward in there's not much you can do. Besides, you know, what you people usually do. Brake at the 150 board. Ooh. Nearly thought I was going to go back into the Ferrari there. Less than ideal. Closing that door, though. Definitely ideal. 0.7 seconds away. I mean, we're lap 11 out of 18. Plenty of time for things to further work in our favor. I mean, let's be honest, we're in position 12. Started off the race in what, position 25? There goes the Mustang. How did... Ooh. Hold the brakes, buddy. Hold the brakes. And you see me saying there on the video as well. Oh, my dear. You know, the amount of people that don't hold the brakes is not even funny. Anyway. 0.6 seconds away. And actually, I quite like the livery in that Ferrari. I think it's actually quite pretty. Not going to lie. That corner isn't pretty, though. That was definitely a corner cut. And I think they actually get a slow down here because they back off, give the position to us. And, yeah, it's probably less than ideal. There goes the Porsche that overtook us earlier. Yeah. Did say it was a little bit twitchy. Okay. Lap 12 out of 18. Not much to go. We're on position 10, which is absolutely ideal. 9 seconds away from the BMW up in front. I mean, to be fair, we qualified for this race in position 8. You know, I did set a really good qualifying lap. I think it was like a 142.2. You know, and yeah, got P8 in the end. And I think that was quite a good lap time, but just didn't trust starting that far up the leaderboard and going around turn 1 with everybody barreling around you. You know, sometimes preservation is just that little bit better. Would we have won the race? No. Could we have crashed? Oh, there was a high chance. And yeah, didn't want to trust it. This lap here, lap 15 out of 18, we set actually a really good lap here with minimal traffic. We're going to set a 142.096, which is, I think it's quite a competitive lap. Now, some of the fastest drivers I've seen 141s, even 139s. Now that in itself is absolutely insane. Could we get there? Probably. I think a bit of skill, a lot of tuning of the car would help. I'm using the Coach Dave tune with adjusted anti-roll bars and a couple of other bits and bobs. Just really need to delve into maximizing the tunes of these vehicles. I'm not really confident in doing so at the moment. But we'll get there. We'll get there and, again, improve further. Just need to get used to the cars and then can adapt them from there. Yeah, there we go. There's the blue Porsche again behind us. I had a moment earlier looking to make a move. Now, this is the less than ideal place for them to be sucking off my slipstream. That could have been said a lot better. Coming round this corner here, I know I'm going to cut their nose off, and I know they're going to stick the nose in. I need to cut the nose off to make sure I stay on the track, and they were looking to make that move. So kind of feel guilty for, well, cutting their nose off. I mean, then, You shouldn't stick your nose where you wouldn't stick your, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give up the position. And you might think, Flash, are you nuts? Yeah, I have never had my marbles, so probably always there. Thing is, I know I am better giving pressure than being under pressure. For that reason, I know that car is sketchy. Furthermore, I am going to put that Porsche under pressure and make them make a mistake. Where lap 17 out of 18 will have a lap and a half to make this poor judgment work. And you can see how it's a poor judgment because I got left behind. You might think all is lost. Just you wait. And I still can't believe how red my face looks. Sunburnt from the heat wave. Yeah. Still a bit sore, I'm not going to lie. Braking at the little road on the right side, down the second gear, over the curb on the left, onto the curb on the right. Gaining a little bit of time there. Actually doing that corner rather well. Porsche up ahead, 1.2 seconds, and they had another moment, giving us position 10 back. Beautiful. Thank you, LMU gods. That was very much appreciated on the final lap. Look at the joy. Couldn't believe it. And not only that, we actually caught up quite a lot of time to the cars up in front. Remember earlier, the BMW was 9 seconds away. They're only 5.3. And there's a Lamborghini D Unknown who is 4.5 seconds away. Kind of insane that over the course of 4 or 5 laps, we gained a second per lap. And all we need is, what, 4 or 5 more laps, and we would have been all over them 2 cars. And I think getting up to position 7 would have definitely been a lot of work. In position 1, well, we ain't got time for that. But coming round the final corner at Monza, 3rd time the charm, we crossed that finish line on position 10. Beautifully done. Now, let's take a look at the board at the end, where I will show you that the sign affected the safety rating. There it is. Race contact with sign, down 1 arrow, low. And also my driver rank is in silver number 1. So 2 crashes has brought it down from a quarter way up silver 2. Yeah, not ideal. But on to crash cam. Start of the race, you'll think, how do people crash here? Well, you know, you'd be surprised. Whack. And then the car reacted after the whack, like, oh, somebody touched me. Get on, physics, doing ever so well. This is the Lamborghini. Seriously. If you're going to jump like that, you've got to make sure you give yourself space for that, because not everybody is as quick reacting to button pressing as yourself. There's BMW, you see, have a lot of accidents in this race as well, so I'm not too sure why they're turning left in a straight line, almost destroying that BMW, but I guess they don't really care. Some people are like that. Turn 1. That's why I say, not an ideal place to undercut. And you spin me right round, baby, right round. And what a lovely rejoin. Right into the traffic. Cars coming at you. Get out of the way, buddy. It's not the place you want to be. There's a wheel there. Free to good home. This is what happened from another point of view. The carnage is unreal. There's that BMW who just nearly destroyed that other BMW off the track. Look at that full rejoin. Just yeets it back on the track. No crap given. Right into the middle of the racing line. I mean, how lucky is everybody else that he didn't take him out at that point? And do you know what? They probably think that is just the right behavior to have. Just because you didn't touch somebody doesn't mean you're not the cause of an accident. And people need to remember that. If you spook somebody and they react because what your move is, you know, unpredictable, that in itself is you're the reason the cause of accidents. And look at this, just use it to the track. People coming in the rearview mirror straight onto the racing line, in the way of everybody, and then moves away from it, so it hovers in the middle of the track. Now, try and get your preserving positions, but that is not on. Just look at that. See what I mean? Blocking the McLaren as well. Is that intentional? I don't know. But they are slow, you know. The car's knackered. You can't Can't be doing that. No. And this is silver lobbies, you know, intermediates. Ah, well, each to their own. And moving on to the next clip. Same location, though, because the destruction was insane. I want to see how many more people was involved in that. There goes this Mercedes. Oh, dear. I mean, it is turn one. It's pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. You know, you're going around there at the same speed on cold tyres. And the Corvette did their best to avoid the situation. And I think turning left was not the right thing to do. Maybe turning right was the left thing to do. Yeah. Makes sense, Flash. And now we understand why there was a green Corvette driving down the road. No rear wing. The carnage is still happening behind us. I'm just liking to point out. I mean, you have this Ferrari here. Oh, I feel sorry for that Ferrari. They did their best to avoid it and lost a wheel, all because of some unsafe rejoin, rather than maneuvering themselves on the gravel pit or waiting for everybody on a track to go. Now, less than ideal. Bump shoving, probably not this car's fault, but you've got to give space, and if you're trailing somebody like that, when you come into a braking zone, just let off. Having more control of the vehicle. That's what I mean about that left-hand double curb, through the tyre wall, back out onto the track like nothing happened. Mustang doing Mustang things. Yeah, moving a little bit on the braking. Porsche's looking to make a move there, but ultimately, door was swiftly closed. Porsche, Porsche's everywhere. Porsche drifting. Porsche hits another Porsche. A lot of Porsches in that Porsche sentence. Oh, look, there's me, Mario. And here's the sign. Here's the sign. See? I avoided the Porsche and I get blamed for hitting the 100 sign. Lovely. It's not like the apprentice went out and put it back either. That corner gets a lot of people. Spoiler. I did say the Mustang does Mustang things. There's a car to this car's right, I'd like to point out. There it is. I'd like to say they stay committed on full throttle going out wide. And they saved it. Credit where credit's due. And do you know what? I'm not really going to complain about that rejoin, because they stayed to the left of the track, gave the two BMWs space to keep going, although probably scared the living crap out of them. It's still, I'd say, quite a safe rejoin. You know, it was controlled. That braking was not, though. That braking was terrible. And it just passed like, yeah, just for the position, boy. I didn't mean to hit you, honestly. Cool, that is some close up the bumper driving. Something's going to happen here. Contact. One down. Oh, the Aston went as well. How frustrating is that? That's what I say. Overtaking that corner. Sketchy. It's doable. But sometimes you just got to think, is it safe? And is it worth the risk? You know, if you're battling for a long time, yeah, I would say kind of worth the risk. But, you know, lap 3 or 18, it's not worth the risk, you know. Final lap or final couple of laps, yeah. You know, 3 of 18, no. Overtake somewhere else. Lamborghini versus BMW. I don't know about that move. I don't know. I think that BMW is a little bit wrong. Kind of a late dive bomb move into a corner that, you know, you go back into the curb for. That's the racing line. You kind of dip your toes in the curb. Kind of naughty move to make. This is a dirty move as well, not gonna lie. That's a dive bomber from 3 football fields ago. And I mean, it's position gained. And nobody really came off foul. Not sure where this person's going. Probably watching TikTok or something. Yeah. Are they getting penalised per sign they've hit? Because that should be 7 down arrows. Let me know what you think of this. This is the final lap, final corner. BMW cuts this BMW's nose off. Is that a move that's fair or not? Because contact was made, although the BMW wasn't going to be able to steal that position, didn't have that much momentum. Using your vehicle as a mode of blockage, I don't know.